If you're a man over 60, let me ask you a question that might sting a little. When was the last time you woke up with a firm, proud morning erection? For many men, it's been months, maybe years, and that absence feels like a silent alarm. It's not just about sex, it's about vitality, strength, and the unshakable confidence of knowing your body still works the way it should. The shocking truth is this: thousands of men your age are reclaiming natural, consistent morning erections, not with expensive pills or risky procedures, but with something so simple it almost sounds impossible: a single spoonful of oil before bed. My name is Dr. James. I am a board-certified urologist, a professor, and a men's health specialist. For more than 30 years, I've studied male hormones, circulation, and vitality. I've treated countless men who walked into my office believing age had stolen their manhood, only to discover there was still a path forward. I don't share fads or empty promises. What I'm about to tell you is rooted in science, in research, and in real-world results. Here's the paradox. Men in their 70s and even 80s are waking up stronger than they have in decades, not because their bodies are young again, but because they've learned how to fuel them properly. Isn't it curious that a simple oil from your kitchen can succeed where modern drugs often fail? Take 1 tablespoon before bed and you give your body the raw materials to restore testosterone, protect blood flow, and bring back the natural erections you thought were gone forever. In just a moment, I'll reveal exactly which oil it is, why bedtime is the perfect timing, and how this one nightly habit could transform your mornings and your confidence. Before we dive in, make sure you've subscribed and turned on the notification bell so you never miss another men's health tip designed specifically for you. And I'd love your feedback. If this message resonates with you, type 1 in the comments. If it doesn't, type 0, so I know how to make these videos even more helpful for you. Now let's get straight into the heart of today's message. To truly understand why a simple spoonful of oil before bed can bring back natural morning erections, we first need to uncover the science behind it, the exact reason this timing and method works so powerfully for men over 60. 1. Why oil before bed works. For decades in my practice, I've seen men come to me frustrated, embarrassed, and convinced their bodies were simply too old to produce strong erections anymore. But what I've learned, and what science continues to prove, is that the problem is rarely age itself. The real issue is that the body has not been given what it needs at the right time to continue producing the hormones and circulation necessary for morning erections. That is why taking oil before bed can be such a powerful, almost miraculous intervention. Here's the truth. Your body is not asleep at night, it's hard at work. Between 10 at night and 2 in the morning, your system is busy repairing tissues, balancing hormones, and restoring energy for the next day. Think of it like the night shift at a factory. Hormones such as testosterone are being built in those hours, but they can only be made if the raw materials are available. Those raw materials are healthy fats. Without them, your body is like a factory missing supplies. No matter how many workers are ready, nothing can be produced. When you provide a spoonful of the right oil before bed, you're stocking the shelves just in time for production. The healthy fats in these oils serve as the backbone for testosterone synthesis. At the same time, many of them carry anti-inflammatory compounds that reduce the silent swelling in your blood vessels and pelvic tissues, making it easier for blood to flow freely to where you need it most. And because oils are absorbed more efficiently than many other nutrients, your body doesn't have to wait long. It begins using those resources almost immediately. I've watched men who thought their best years were long behind them return weeks later with a smile, telling me they were surprised to wake up with the kind of erections they hadn't experienced in years. That transformation begins with understanding this one truth: timing matters. Which oil you choose matters even more. And the oil with the strongest scientific support, the one I recommend every man start with, is extra virgin olive oil. 2. Extra virgin olive oil. When men ask me where to begin, I always tell them to start with extra virgin olive oil. It's not exotic, it's not hard to find, and yet it has some of the most powerful effects on male vitality that I have ever seen. I remember one of my patients in his late 60s who came to me after trying everything from supplements to expensive medications. He was skeptical when I suggested something as simple as olive oil, but within a few weeks, he walked back into my office with a grin on his face and a quiet confidence he hadn't felt in years. That moment reminded me how sometimes the simplest answers can be the most life-changing. The science behind olive oil is remarkably strong. Men in Mediterranean countries consume it daily, and they enjoy some of the lowest rates of erectile dysfunction in the world. Research has shown that men who take olive oil consistently can raise their testosterone levels by nearly 20% in just 3 months. That kind of increase rivals some of the most prescribed medications. But olive oil does more than just provide raw materials for hormones. It contains polyphenols, powerful antioxidants that protect testosterone from breaking down or being converted into estrogen. In other words, olive oil doesn't just help you make more testosterone, it helps you keep it. To get the best results, quality matters. You want a first cold-pressed oil, stored in a dark glass bottle with a harvest date printed on the label. Freshness is key because that is when the polyphenols are at their peak. Take 1 tablespoon about an hour before bed. You can swallow it straight, mix it with lemon juice, or drizzle it on a small piece of bread. The key is consistency, night after night, allowing your body to build strength and resilience from within. I've seen men report better sleep, calmer nights, and then, almost without warning, the return of firm, dependable morning erections. But olive oil is just the beginning. Because while it builds hormones and protects them, there are other oils with unique powers that target inflammation and circulation in ways olive oil cannot. And one of the most surprising is castor oil. 3. Castor oil. Most men are surprised when I mention castor oil because for years it's been known mainly as an old-fashioned remedy for constipation. But in truth, this thick golden oil holds a very different kind of power when used in the right way, at the right dose. I'll never forget a patient of mine, a 70-year-old gentleman who had been struggling with weak erections and constant discomfort in his pelvic area. He had tried medications, but they left him with side effects and little real improvement. When I suggested castor oil in a very small dose before bed, he raised his eyebrows in disbelief. 3 weeks later, he called me, his voice full of excitement, telling me he had experienced his first natural morning erection in nearly 5 years. That call reminded me of the hidden potential in this overlooked oil. The secret lies in its chemistry. Castor oil is composed of nearly 90% ricinoleic acid, a unique fatty acid with powerful anti-inflammatory properties. When taken in small amounts, it doesn't act like a laxative. Instead, it penetrates deeply into tissues, reducing the congestion and swelling that build up in the pelvis after decades of sitting, poor circulation, and the silent inflammation that comes with age. This is critical because inflammation around the prostate and pelvic vessels is one of the biggest barriers to healthy erections. By helping to clear lymphatic fluid, reduce pressure, and restore blood flow, castor oil makes it easier for the body to send blood where it needs to go in the early hours of the morning. The key is moderation. A therapeutic dose is just half to 1 teaspoon mixed into warm water or milk about an hour before bed. Choose organic, cold-pressed, hexane-free oil to avoid impurities. The taste is not pleasant, I'll be honest, but blending it with honey or chasing it with something mild makes it manageable. And when men begin to notice easier urination, reduced pelvic heaviness, and eventually the long-missed return of morning erections, the brief bitterness is a small price to pay. But castor oil is only one piece of the story. While it works deeply on inflammation, there's another oil that energizes the body in an entirely different way, fueling hormone production and overnight repair through a unique kind of fat, and that oil is coconut oil. 4. Coconut oil. Coconut oil is one of those household staples that most men overlook, but when I began studying its effects on hormone balance and male vitality, I realized it offered something truly unique. I remember a patient in his mid-60s who came into my office, worn down from years of sluggish mornings and a fading sex drive. He told me he felt like his body had slowed to a crawl at night, as though the engine was running on fumes. When I suggested coconut oil before bed, he gave me a doubtful look. But within weeks, his mornings felt different. He described waking up lighter, clearer, and with the kind of energy he thought only younger men had. Along with that energy came something else he hadn't expected: stronger morning erections. The secret is in the way coconut oil is metabolized. Unlike most fats, coconut oil is rich in medium-chain triglycerides, or MCTs. These are quickly converted by the liver into usable energy rather than stored as fat. That means when you take coconut oil before bed, your body has a ready supply of fuel for cellular repair, tissue recovery, and hormone production during the critical nighttime window. It also contains lauric acid, a compound with natural antimicrobial effects that helps calm low-grade inflammation in the gut and urinary system. And because inflammation is one of the hidden enemies of blood flow and nerve health, reducing it is essential for strong, consistent erections. The best way to use coconut oil is to start small. Take 1 teaspoon before bed and gradually work up to a tablespoon if your body tolerates it well. Always choose virgin, cold-pressed, organic coconut oil, the kind that still smells faintly of coconuts, because that tells you it hasn't been over-processed. Some men melt it into a warm cup of tea, others mix it with cinnamon or simply take it straight. The key, as always, is consistency. Coconut oil wakes up your metabolism, supports testosterone production, and sets the stage for mornings that feel energized and powerful. But while it fuels your system with quick-burning energy, there's another oil that provides a different kind of power, one that delivers essential minerals to your testes and protects the prostate itself. That remarkable oil is pumpkin seed oil. 5. Pumpkin seed oil. Pumpkin seed oil is one of the most overlooked treasures for men's health, yet it holds a place of honor in my own recommendations. Years ago, I treated a man in his late 60s who was waking up 3 or 4 times every night to urinate. He was exhausted, frustrated, and convinced his prostate problems had stolen both his sleep and his intimacy. I introduced him to pumpkin seed oil, suggesting he take a small spoonful before bed. Within weeks, he told me he was sleeping through the night more often. His urination had improved, and to his surprise, his morning erections began to return. His relief was written all over his face, and it reminded me how powerful this oil can be. What makes pumpkin seed oil so unique is its combination of essential nutrients and protective compounds. It is one of the richest natural sources of zinc, a mineral that your testes depend on to produce testosterone. Without enough zinc, testosterone production slows to a crawl. Pumpkin seed oil not only provides zinc in generous amounts, but it delivers it alongside the healthy fats that make absorption more efficient. On top of that, it contains phytosterols, plant compounds that specifically reduce inflammation in the prostate and improve urinary flow. Studies have shown that men taking pumpkin seed oil regularly report fewer nighttime bathroom trips, less pelvic discomfort, and better prostate health overall. And when the prostate is healthy, everything in that region functions more smoothly, including sexual performance. The flavor of pumpkin seed oil is nutty and rich, which many men actually enjoy. The ideal dose is 1 to 2 teaspoons before bed, either taken straight, mixed into yogurt, or drizzled over a light evening snack. Always look for cold-pressed oil in dark bottles and keep it refrigerated to preserve its deep green color and potency. Pumpkin seed oil strengthens the foundation. It feeds your hormones and protects your prostate. But there is another oil less familiar to many men that directly shields and revives the very cells in your testes responsible for producing testosterone. That oil, used for thousands of years in traditional medicine, is black seed oil. 6. Black seed oil, Nigella sativa. Among all the oils I've studied, black seed oil is the one that often surprises men the most. Known for centuries in the Middle East as a cure for everything but death, it has only recently begun to receive the scientific attention it deserves in Western medicine. I remember a man in his early 70s who had nearly given up on restoring his sexual vitality. He told me he felt as though his body had simply shut down, and the energy he once had was gone for good. I suggested black seed oil, not as a miracle, but as a natural support for his struggling system. Within a couple of months, he returned with a spark in his eyes, saying he felt not only more alive, but more confident as his morning erections became consistent again. The power of black seed oil lies in a compound called thymine-quinone. This natural antioxidant directly protects the Leydig cells in the testes, the very cells responsible for producing testosterone. Over the years, oxidative stress chips away at their function, leading to lower hormone levels and weaker erections. Black seed oil doesn't just protect these cells, it helps them recover and perform better. Clinical studies have shown increases in testosterone of up to 20% after regular use, along with improvements in sperm quality, libido, and erectile strength. For men battling insulin resistance, another common issue after 60, black seed oil offers an added bonus. It improves insulin sensitivity, which is vital because poor blood sugar control is one of the fastest ways to kill testosterone. The taste of black seed oil is strong, peppery, and slightly bitter. So many men prefer to mix a teaspoon with honey before bed or choose a high-quality liquid capsule. The important thing is to ensure the oil is organic, cold-pressed, and lists a thymine-quinone content of at least 1 to 2% on the label. That ensures potency and results. Black seed oil has the ability to restore the very machinery of testosterone production, offering men hope when they thought decline was inevitable. But protecting and repairing cells is only part of the equation. To truly restore blood vessel health and circulation, there is another oil that works hand in hand with these benefits, and that oil is fish oil. 7. Fish oil. When men think about sexual health, fish oil is rarely the first thing that comes to mind. Yet in my years of practice, I've seen it quietly transform not just erections, but overall vitality. I once worked with a gentleman in his late 60s who struggled with constant fatigue and a lack of firmness in the mornings. He had tried adjusting his diet, adding exercise, and even experimenting with herbal remedies, but the results were modest. When I encouraged him to begin a nightly dose of high-quality fish oil, he hesitated. After all, he'd heard it was mainly for heart health. But just weeks later, he told me his mornings felt renewed. His energy was steadier, his focus sharper, and yes, his erections had returned with surprising strength. The reason fish oil is so effective lies in its omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA and DHA. These compounds reduce systemic inflammation, which silently damages blood vessels over the years. By calming that inflammation, fish oil helps blood vessels remain flexible and open, allowing improved circulation to the areas that matter most during early morning hours. DHA, in particular, strengthens the very walls of those vessels, making them more resilient. The result is better blood flow, better oxygen delivery, and stronger, more reliable erections. On top of that, omega-3s support nerve function, ensuring that the delicate signals between brain and body remain sharp even with age. To get the benefits, quality, and dose matter, look for pharmaceutical-grade fish oil that has been purified and tested for mercury and other contaminants. 2 to 3 grams before bed is ideal, and taking it at night often reduces the fishy repeat that bothers some men. Store it in the refrigerator to keep it fresh and potent. Fish oil strengthens the foundation of circulation and nerve health, amplifying the results of every other oil you take. But knowing which oils to choose is only half the story. The real magic comes from learning how to combine them into a simple nightly routine, a protocol that maximizes benefits and keeps your body supplied with everything it needs. And that is exactly what I'll show you next. 8. Suggested protocol. One of the biggest mistakes I see men make is trying everything at once, then giving up when they feel overwhelmed. The truth is, your body responds best to steady, consistent steps. Over the years, I've created a simple protocol that allows men to introduce these oils gradually and safely, building momentum without stress. I remember guiding a patient in his early 70s who was eager to try all 6 oils in a single week. I cautioned him to slow down, reminding him that healing is a process, not a sprint. When he followed the protocol as I outlined it, he not only avoided digestive discomfort, but also began seeing meaningful improvements within weeks. The first week is about simplicity and consistency. Begin with one oil, and I almost always recommend starting with extra virgin olive oil. 1 tablespoon before bed every night gives your body a familiar, well-tolerated foundation. By the second week, you can add a second oil or alternate between two. For example, olive oil on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and pumpkin seed oil on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. This keeps your body supplied with a variety of nutrients while giving each oil time to work. As you move into the third week and beyond, you can find the rhythm that feels right for you. Some men thrive by sticking to 2 oils consistently, while others enjoy rotating through 3 or 4 for a broader spectrum of benefits. My favorite combination for many men includes olive oil and black seed oil 3 nights a week, pumpkin seed oil twice a week, coconut oil once, and castor oil once. This approach addresses hormone production, circulation, inflammation, and prostate health all at once without overwhelming the system. Think of this as creating a personal routine that becomes second nature, like brushing your teeth before bed. Small actions, repeated consistently, lead to lasting transformation. And once you've committed to a protocol, the next natural question becomes, how soon will you see results and what exactly should you expect along the way? 9. Timeline and expected results. One of the first questions men ask me is, how long will it take before I notice a difference? I understand that impatience. When you've gone months or years without morning erections, every day feels like a reminder of what's been lost. But what I've seen time and again is that when you give your body the right building blocks, change often comes sooner than you think. During the first week, most men notice small but encouraging shifts. Sleep often becomes deeper, the mind calmer, and energy in the morning begins to feel steadier. This is your body's way of telling you it's receiving the raw materials it has been missing. By the second and third weeks, something remarkable tends to happen. Men report waking up with firmer, more frequent erections. Not every morning yet, but enough to remind them that their bodies are capable of responding. It's a powerful moment that restores hope and confidence. Between the 4th and 6th weeks, improvements usually become more consistent. Morning erections show up more regularly. Responses during intimacy feel stronger, and stamina throughout the day improves. By the 2nd and 3rd month, the benefits often compound. Hormones stabilize, circulation improves, and inflammation continues to decrease. At this stage, many men tell me they feel years younger, not just in the bedroom, but in their overall energy and outlook. It's important to remember that results vary. Some men respond faster while others take longer, depending on factors like sleep quality, stress levels, medications, or overall health. But in my experience, men who stay consistent rarely finish 2 full months without noticing significant changes. The key is patience and persistence. Your body has remarkable capacity to repair itself when supported the right way. And while the timeline gives you a roadmap, there are certain obstacles that can delay or even block these results entirely. Understanding those roadblocks is the next crucial step, because once you know what they are, you can avoid them and keep moving forward with confidence. 10. Factors that influence results. Over the years, I've learned that it's not just about what you put into your body, but also about the environment you create for those nutrients to work. Some men follow the oil protocol faithfully, yet they struggle to see progress. Others, with the same routine, notice improvements quickly. The difference often comes down to hidden factors that either accelerate or block results. Consistency is the first one. Your body thrives on routine. Skipping nights or constantly changing oils can disrupt the steady supply of nutrients needed for hormone production and repair. I recall a patient in his mid-60s who admitted he only took the oils when he remembered. Not surprisingly, his results lagged behind. Once he committed nightly, his improvements finally arrived. Sleep is another major influence. Testosterone and growth hormone are produced most efficiently during deep sleep. If you're only getting 5 hours a night, or if sleep apnea is silently disrupting your rest, no oil in the world can fully make up for that loss. Addressing sleep issues often unlocks the full potential of this protocol. Medications also play a role. Blood pressure drugs, statins, and certain antidepressants are known to interfere with sexual function. Oils can help counter some of those effects, but the uphill battle is steeper. That's why it's important to talk with your doctor about alternatives or adjustments if you suspect your medication is limiting your progress. Stress might be the most underestimated factor of all. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, a hormone that directly suppresses testosterone. I've seen men under heavy stress make little progress until they began practicing relaxation, prayer, or even simple breathing exercises. Once stress lowered, their bodies responded almost immediately. And finally, alcohol, especially late at night, sabotages both sleep quality and hormone production. Even moderate amounts can undo the benefits of your efforts. Understanding these obstacles allows you to correct course and maximize your success. But beyond avoiding pitfalls, there are also simple proactive habits you can add each day to supercharge your results. And those are exactly what we'll cover next. 11. Additional supportive tips. In my years of guiding men through this journey, I've come to realize that while oils lay the foundation, small daily habits can multiply the benefits many times over. Think of it like tending to a garden. You can plant the right seeds, but if you don't give them water, sunlight, and care, they'll never reach their full potential. The same is true for your body. One of the simplest yet most powerful habits is staying hydrated. Blood flow depends on the thickness of your blood. When you're dehydrated, circulation slows and erections suffer. Drinking half your body weight in ounces of water each day keeps your blood moving freely. I remember one patient who shrugged this off until I challenged him to commit for just 2 weeks. He was amazed by how much lighter, more energetic, and responsive his body felt. Another powerful practice is strengthening the pelvic floor through Kegel exercises. These simple contractions, as if you're stopping the flow of urine midstream, directly target the muscles that support erections. I've seen men in their 70s regain firmness and stamina simply by doing these exercises daily. Morning sunlight is another overlooked ally. Just 20 minutes of light within an hour of waking helps regulate your circadian rhythm, which in turn boosts testosterone production. Men often tell me they feel sharper, more alive, and more in tune with their bodies when they commit to this small act. And finally, protect your evenings. Limit blue light from screens at night as it disrupts melatonin and reduces sleep quality. A patient once told me that swapping late-night television for reading in dim light not only improved his sleep, but also deepened the effectiveness of the oils he was taking. These small, practical steps create the conditions for your body to thrive, and when you combine them with your nightly oils, the transformation is even greater. But perhaps the most convincing reason to stay consistent lies in the cost, because when you compare the price of these natural oils to the alternatives, the difference is staggering. 12. Cost versus benefit. One of the most common frustrations I hear from men is the sheer expense of conventional treatments. Prescription pills for erectile dysfunction can cost $30 to $60 for a single dose, and even then, the results are temporary and often come with side effects like headaches or a racing heart. Testosterone replacement therapy, another popular option, can run $200 to $500 every month, not to mention the needles, doctor visits, and ongoing monitoring. I've had men look me in the eye and tell me they felt trapped, paying a fortune just to borrow a little confidence for a night, all while fearing what might happen to their long-term health. That's why these oils feel like such a revelation. High-quality olive oil, pumpkin seed oil, or black seed oil might cost $40 to $60 for a month's supply. That breaks down to less than $2 a day. And unlike a pill that forces your body into a short-lived reaction, these oils nourish you from the inside out, addressing the root causes of poor erections. They support hormone production, reduce inflammation, improve blood flow, and promote overall health in ways no single prescription can. I've watched men not only regain their morning erections, but also report sharper memory, calmer moods, and better energy throughout the day. Think of it this way. For the price of a cup of coffee, you can invest in something that strengthens your vitality, supports your heart, protects your prostate, and restores the confidence you thought was gone forever. That's not an expense. It's one of the wisest investments you can make in yourself. But beyond cost and convenience, there is something even more important: the promise of reclaiming a part of your manhood that many believe age has stolen. And that is exactly where I want to take you now as we bring everything together in the conclusion of this message. Conclusion. As men age, it is easy to believe that fading strength, energy, and morning vitality are an unavoidable part of life. For decades, many have quietly accepted the loss of consistent erections as a symbol of decline, not realizing that the body is still capable of repair, renewal, and surprising resilience. What the journey through olive oil, castor oil, coconut oil, pumpkin seed oil, black seed oil, and fish oil truly demonstrates is a timeless principle. When we provide the body with the right nourishment at the right time, it often responds in ways that feel nothing short of remarkable. The oils described are more than pantry staples or folk remedies. They represent concentrated sources of healthy fats, antioxidants, and bioactive compounds that fuel hormone production, reduce inflammation, and protect delicate tissues. Each one offers its own unique contribution: olive oil supporting testosterone and vascular health, castor oil calming deep-seated pelvic inflammation, coconut oil delivering rapid energy for overnight repair, pumpkin seed oil fortifying the prostate and supplying essential minerals, black seed oil reviving the very cells that produce testosterone, and fish oil strengthening blood vessels and nerve signaling. Taken consistently with patience and intention, these natural allies can help create the environment in which vitality returns. Yet it is equally important to recognize that no single habit or supplement works in isolation. Oils alone cannot overcome the effects of chronic stress, poor sleep, heavy alcohol intake, or lack of movement. Real and lasting transformation emerges from a holistic approach, nourishing the body, protecting rest, managing stress, and cultivating routines that support long-term wellness. The nightly ritual of a spoonful of oil is not a magic bullet, but a powerful reminder of consistency. Small actions repeated daily can accumulate into life-changing results. The true gift of this protocol is not simply the return of morning erections. It is the return of confidence, of vitality, and of the quiet reassurance that age does not have to mean surrender. When men begin waking with energy, strength, and renewed circulation, they often discover improvements far beyond the bedroom. Sharper focus, steadier moods, deeper sleep, and renewed enthusiasm for life tend to follow. These benefits ripple outward, enhancing relationships, self-esteem, and overall quality of life. Compared with the staggering costs and side effects of conventional treatments, the simplicity of these natural oils is striking. A modest daily investment can replace the temporary relief of expensive prescriptions with a foundation of lasting health. Instead of forcing the body into a short-lived reaction, these oils support it from within, aligning with its natural rhythms of repair and renewal. Ultimately, the message is clear: decline is not destiny. Even in the 7th or 8th decade of life, the body retains a remarkable ability to restore itself when given the proper tools. The nightly spoonful of oil becomes more than a supplement. It becomes a symbol of self-care, of hope, and of commitment to living with vitality at any age. By embracing this simple yet powerful practice, men can reclaim not only their mornings but also their sense of strength, masculinity, and confidence in the years ahead.